What do you enjoy about Eve? What's the driving force behind your actions every day in this game? Could it be kills that are so close you could swear you wouldn't make it? Would it be making a huge profit? Would it be making friends and flying together with them? Everyone has their own reason for playing Eve Online. Mine is getting these kind of fights, where you would swear you're not gonna make it, and you would think about bailing out, but you don't. You stay in the fight to the end. And when that willpower is rewarded with a win, it's a truly magical moment. We all have these kind of moments we're looking for in Eve, and that defines our playstyle, whether you're a miner, a trader, an industrialist, whatever your profession is. My story might be very similar to yours. I'm a pirate, or a mercenary, or whatever you want to call me, a PvPer in essence, that usually flies solo in a world that's ever more increasingly hard to do so. Because you see, I'm connected to this place called Deacon, where pirates have taught me how to PvP quite a while ago, and somehow the place became dear to me, so I always go back there to find my content and to try to get fights, and that usually goes pretty good for me. Although after a certain time I've noticed more and more people took interest in Deacon. I had fights a while back with a Brazilian group, and I tried really hard to push them out and make myself able to fly there again, which in the end resulted in us becoming friends and joining a mercenary alliance and having a great time together. But that was in the past. Now Deacon has a new threat, and this is where the conflict started. When I have returned after a rather long break of Eve, someone in Deacon has told me that I need to be blue with him and that he's the ruler of Deacon, something I was very unfamiliar with. I didn't think Deacon ever had a ruler, especially since it was kinda like a pirate's cove / freelancer spot where everyone was kinda free to kill whatever. And as I do have a bit of an issue with authority, I didn't take this very lightly. What you have to know is that I fly rather solo. Only recently have I made an alt account to help me out with low skill points, as well as my girlfriend Vixen, who I'm teaching Eve, and we're trying to get into PvP together. Whereas this group that has occupied this area around Deacon has rather quite a few members, some of them new, some of them experienced, so I'm heavily outnumbered and in most cases heavily outgunned as well. So I'm gonna use every resource at my disposal. I have reconnected to some of my pirate friends from Deacon, while also utilizing my alt account and trying to get Vixen to help me in the best way possible. So my strategy here was hit and run, trying to catch off stragglers, trying to give them as much losses while taking very few of my own. And with the help of my pirate friends, we did manage to single some of them out and eventually get some good kills on the kill board. However, not all of these fights were without cost. As soon after I would find myself losing an Armageddon again, as I have previously done in the past, they would come in with buffer cruisers and buffer armor battle cruisers and battleships and outnumber me and whittle me to bits. In one instance, my friend aggressed a prophecy that was bait on a gate, and I knew that was a bad choice, but I wouldn't want to let him die alone, so I aggressed as well, which led to both of us dying. But I would rather die alongside my friends than be a leader in the background like I believed this person was. Someone who feels so entitled and sends his fleet members ahead of him to make sure that he doesn't suffer a loss is no true leader to me. So I try to mess with him any way I could, sort of like a psychological warfare, at least in my mind. So I try to mess with him, trying to upset him in any way to throw him off his game. I caught one of his buddies who had a Drake in a site trying to do some PvE, and just before I killed them, everyone started warping in, which is a very common tactic of what they would do and how most our fights would look like. Basically me catching one dude and then everyone jumping in with overwhelming force. And I tried my best to stay in this fight as long as I could, sort of to taunt him, to try to show him that his numbers will not stop me or will not deter me from being aggressive towards his group in any way. And all this kind of behavior of coming with a big blob of people and trying to hunt down only a few of us actually caught the attention of some of the locals. PvPers from the Corporation Criterion, who's part of NC Dot, who in a sense already gained my respect by the fact that they did not drop sinos or blobs or capitals on us and respected the low-sec solo gang type of gameplay. And as I continued to harass this big group's members, they came one day when they actually offered their help in order to bait them to blob the blobbers. And although it's just a little victory to enjoy, the war is not over, it's one of the way Eve sort of pays you back for your patience. You can sit back and just enjoy it. This battle was won, and it showed him that I can punch a bit above my weight than what he usually expects. Although this kind of conflict is never simple, I have taken a lot of losses from neutral PvPers inside Deacon as well as most of my friends. My story is of someone who does not want to blindly follow authority and that I will make my own way into space. Deacon is just a stage I set in front of myself for this. Sometimes after that big fight, one of the Criterion members actually contacted me for support against a very faction blingy rattlesnake that was on Sun, and after we proceeded to kill him, we equally split the loot and then went our separate ways, becoming neutral again. Basically, we can shoot each other at any time. In my mind, this is what encompasses this kind of pirate honor I believe in, where you can band together for a common purpose and then each go on your separate way without having no hard feelings. And while I do believe in leadership and an organized group, I do also believe that respect has to be earned amongst your members, and you have to prove yourself to be a true leader in that sense. And this is what I choose to fight for. We all have our choices, we all have our playstyle. However, creating a story, like a layer over the game I'm playing, feels very enjoyable to me. So to all capsuleers out there, I hope that you find that one thing that gives you passion and inspiration to pursue a goal in Eve. And whatever you decide that might be, stand your ground and fight for it. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Till next time, fly dangerous.